Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the DC Collectibles, the new Batman Adventures number 20, Scarecrow. Scarecrow, one of the more scarier looking redesigns for the new Batman Adventures. He also comes in this figure form with a ton of different accessories. A total of 18 pieces included, which I guess also factor in the figure, the display stand, and some of the accessories, the waist clip, and other things such as that. It is recommended for ages 14 and up, not recommended for ages 3 below, as it does have some small parts. The back of the package, as we've seen before, doesn't have a read-up or other characters in the line. But down below you can go to www.dccomics.com. You can also go to www.comicshoplocator.com if you are looking for a comic shop in your city. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up, but when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the new Batman Adventures number 20, Scarecrow. There's more heading way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. The first thing that we'll have a look at for Scarecrow is the character turnaround display stand that comes with the figure. This one actually is rather interesting because it doesn't actually have a 3/4 turn or back side of the character. It just shows you a kind of an outline profile and also shows you what it would look like when colored in. Rather interesting. Still comes with the clear rod that fits into the back, and also still comes with the waist clip for holding the figure up, which, as you've probably already seen with a lot of these, or if you've collected them yourself, you know that the figures do require display stands. Some of them are a little trickier to stand than others. I'm actually surprised that Scarecrow is standing as well as he is for the present time. I'm sure he will fall over sooner or later, but for the meantime, let's relish in the fact that he is standing. Other accessories included with the Master of Fear. He comes with his staff, which more so an introduced accessory when it came with the new revamped look of Scarecrow. Comes with his staff. He also comes with a vial. My guess is a fear toxin gas of some sort. And he also comes with a gun. Could be a fear gas weapon, or could just be a handgun. He comes with that. I'm thinking it's more a fear gas gun as opposed to just a firearm, but he does come with that as well. Let's also not forget that Scarecrow comes with a ton of different hands. Different grabbing hands. Hands probably more suitable for, well, let's see if he actually holds the, yes he does, for holding the gas. Looks a little weird, I know that I've just got the loose hand here, but he comes with a total of 6 hands, 6 extra. And I don't even say hands, they're full-on arms that he comes included with the figure, just the way it's pegged into place. But he comes with those. And let's, of course, have a look at Scarecrow. By the way, if you wanted to change out the hands, it would be a case of just popping them out. They seem to pop out really easy, actually, and plugging the new ones in place. Currently, he has closed fists, but you know how I usually am. I love to give them more dynamic hands. Even if I don't end up displaying him with said hands holding something, I don't know, I just kind of like them a little bit more with him. Just kind of gives some extra oomph to the figure. Speaking of oomph, this figure's got a lot of oomph. It's missing a little bit, I will be honest. The face, while good, very scary looking new interpretation of Scarecrow with the noose. So one of the added things that they've added to the new Batman Adventure Scarecrow design. But it does have a scariness to it. It feels, I don't know, I guess because it's an action figure of the character, things such as shading may be left off. However, the argument could be made that the Bane that we had to look at had a shine on his mask already painted on. So I'm not sure why they would have not given him a little more just kind of low kind of shadowing on the mask, just to kind of make it look a little scarier, a little creepier, if you will. But he does really have a scary look to him. The original Scarecrow was basically just a scarecrow. Like he had 2 different designs. One was just a full mask, and then one had like the hair added to it. And then they went completely a different change of design and gave us this trench coat wearing It's almost like a cross between Scarecrow and Solomon Grundy, just the design that they ended up going with. This long trench coat, which I might add, the figure has a rubbery kind of trench coat, which is a nice touch. I just really love the design of this character. Technically, this figure never existed, at least not the New Adventures of Batman, New Batman Adventures Scarecrow. It did and it didn't. The original Kenner line only gave us a Scarecrow, remember, with the spinning hand. He had the scythe in his hand and it just spun around. It was more the classic original hooded look of Scarecrow. We didn't actually get this guy until later, a Matty Collector Justice League release. And it was Bane, it was the studded collar Bane, it was Poison Ivy, or no, it was not Poison Ivy, it was Harley Quinn, and it was Scarecrow. I thought there was one other figure as well. But that was the only other time we ever got this particular figure. So some argument could be made that this figure more derived from how he appears in the show, and less an updated look at the original Kenner figure, because technically one did not exist. I love the lankiness to him. I love, one thing I did appreciate with the New Batman Adventures, and despite not liking Joker, which I think was the worst of all the designs, I love that they were just so over-proportioned. Like Scarecrow, for example, really skinny legs, and then it just billowed out to this broad shoulder. It was proportions that no person really should have, but somehow worked really well for the designs of the show. Really like it. In the way of his posability, oh, and by the way, while it's not removable, his hat here is also rubbery. It's the same material as the trench coat that he's got going on there, so it's also a little nice touch. I don't know if that will, if you have that packaged away, will it end up looking like a cowboy hat? I don't know. Just want to keep that flat. But in the way of his posability, Scarecrow is interesting in the fact that he has a swivel in the head, but it swivels left and right. I guess that makes sense for the type of character that he is. It definitely adds to a creepiness when he's looking at you like that. Shoulders rotate all the way around, but they do really stop when you get to the shoulder area, but they do hinge out, giving you a very long reach for this villain. A hinge in the elbow, which also rotates the forearm, and as you've seen, it does have a swivel point, but it swivels at the top where I pegged it in. There's no swivel area at the wrist. He has a waist swivel, and then legs go forward and back, out. He has a hinge in the knee, and a pivot in the foot, as well as a hinge in the foot. So, depending on how you want him displayed, there's enough options for you. He's not completely a staction figure, but he looks really cool. And actually, while we're at it, let's put the staff into his hand. There we go. By the way, it also seems like the staff is too short. I feel like it could be just a little bit longer, but a really cool figure. Loving it. Missing a little bit in the way of shading around the mask, but for the most part, another delivered, strong figure delivered from the folks over at DC Collectibles. He's not one of my favorites, but he's definitely, I would say probably he's top 5. So there you go. Today's toy spot, we were having a look at the DC Collectibles, the New Batman Adventures Scarecrow. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more toy spots on your way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.